Exit drills in the home. Hi everyone, my name is Inspector B with Northwest Fire District. And let me ask you this one question before we start our lesson. Do you know what to do in case there's ever a fire in your home? Do you know how to safely get out? And once you're out of the house, where do you go? Well, for today's lesson, we're going to learn about exit drills in the home. And hopefully you can take it with you and teach your family, because you as the student get to become the teacher and teach your family what you learned today. Do you know if your smoke alarms work in your house? Well, if you're not sure, have mom and dad test every smoke alarm in your home. Did you know that smoke alarms save lives? Yes, they do, because they're kind of like the big nose of your house, right? What do our noses do? They smell. Well, the only job of your smoke alarm is to smell for smoke. The moment that smoke touches it, it will go off and make this really loud sound. But it's important that they work. So make sure that your mom and dad test every smoke alarm to make sure that they're working so that you will have them in case of an emergency. What you want to do is you want to make a map of your home. We call it a fire escape plan, and this is a family project. You want to get a piece of paper, and then you want to draw your home on it. The way you're going to draw your home, though, is it's going to be like you took the roof off of your house and you're looking down at it and you're seeing where all the rooms are located. So you're going to draw all the rooms in your home. You're going to label them. You want to show where the doors are located, every door, and where all the windows are located. Next, you're going to put in arrows. Sometimes you can just put all red arrows, or you can use red and yellow arrows. The red arrows show the first way out on how to get out. That's usually through the doors. And then the yellow arrows show the second way out, which is through the window. Looking at the map, you can see that there are two X's at two of the windows. One is in the bathroom and one is in the kitchen. The bathroom window is usually tough to get out because it's really small or it's really high, and they usually don't make them big enough for a person to climb out of. The kitchen window is sometimes really small and it's over the sink. So somebody climbing over the sink to try to get out of a kitchen window, that would be really difficult, and that person might get hurt. So we have an X through that window. All the arrows lead to a place outside that we call the meeting place. On a two-story house, you're going to need to get two pieces of paper, one for the first floor and then one for the second floor. And you need to make those maps exactly how each floor looks. You need to label all those rooms, and you need to show arrows going out of the windows that work and out of the doors. In order to get out of a window in a two-story house, you can't jump out the window, right? You're not a superhero. What's important to have is a fire escape ladder. Look at the screen. I have a picture there to show you what a fire escape ladder looks like and what it looks like when it's extended. So when you're practicing, you need to practice with that fire escape ladder. Don't wait for a fire to try to learn and climb down it. You need to learn how to use it before a fire ever happens. Next, on your escape plan, you need to pick a meeting place. Now, a meeting place can be a tree, a mailbox, it can be a fence. We don't want it to be a car because a car moves. And the meeting place should not be across the street, because in an emergency, if you're running across the street, what's going to happen? If a car comes, you're going to get hurt, right? So remember, we don't want to cross the street when it comes to your escape plan. You want to keep it in the front yard. The reason why it's in the front yard, so when firefighters show up, they can see that the whole family has gotten out of the house safely. Next, you want to practice your escape plan. We call them home fire drills. It's really, really important you do it at least twice a year. At school, you guys have fire drills, right? And what's the purpose of the fire drills? I know you have them once a month, but why do you have them? If anybody said it's so that we know what to do in case there ever is a real fire, you're correct. So remember, make an escape plan, Practice on how to get out, and when you get out, make sure you have a meeting place. Did you know when something is burning that the smoke from the fire is black? And that black smoke is really dangerous for you to breathe. Because you know what? When you breathe it in, it can hurt your lungs, and it can hurt your throat, and it can make you really, really sick. So this is why we have smoke alarms up on the ceiling or up high on a wall. Because the moment that smoke touches the smoke alarm, it makes the smoke alarm start beeping, right? And when you hear that beeping sound, it means you need to get out of your house quickly. Because as time is going by, that smoke gets thicker and thicker, and it gets hotter and hotter. So this is why we have you get low under the smoke. You want to be under the smoke when you're getting out of your house, because that's where the good air is at. Remember, stay under the black smoke. When do most fires happen? Do you know? Well, did you know that most fires happen when you're sleeping in your bed at night? Yes, most fires happen at nighttime. I don't know why. I think maybe it's because sometimes people are really tired and they might forget to do something. Some people forget to burn, to blow out a candle. Maybe they forgot they were cooking. But you know what? Sometimes fires just happen because something went wrong. But for whatever reason, fires happen at night. So it's important that before you go to bed, you sleep with your bedroom door closed. You're going to be safer that way. It's kind of like a shield, a temporary shield, between you and the fire. But please remember, and remind your family members, sleep with the bedroom door closed. So, if there's a fire in your house, what are you going to do? Get out, right? That is your job. Your job when there's a fire in your house is to get out. One thing I don't want you to do is to hide. Please, don't hide under the covers. Don't hide under the bed. Don't hide in any closets or cabinets or any big baskets that you might be able to fit in. Don't hide at all, because you know what? You need to get out to be safe. Please teach your little brothers and sisters not to hide, because sometimes even the sound of the smoke alarm scares them and they want to go hide. You, as a big brother or sister, teach them not to do that. When the smoke alarm sounds and you know there's a fire in your house, you want to get low and go. Get low where? Get low under the smoke. You want to get on your hands and your knees, and you want to be under the smoke, because remember, that's where I told you the good air is at. This is why it's important to teach your family to crawl on their hands and their knees. You want to crawl just like a baby, okay? And you want to be a fast baby, because you know what? Your job is to get out of your house as quickly as possible. Teach your little brothers and sisters to do the same. That's why it's important to practice crawling low and getting out of your house. When you're crawling on your knees to escape out of your home, remember that bedroom door should be closed. So as you're crawling, once you get to your bedroom door, before you even open up the door, you want to feel the door with the back of your hand, okay? Now, the reason why you feel the door with the back of your hand is because first of all, our skin is more sensitive on this side, but also when you feel the door, if it happens to be hot and you burn yourself, you're still able to crawl because you're crawling with the palms of your hand. But if you touch the door with the palm of your hand and you burn it, it's going to be difficult because your hand is going to be hurting. So remember, we feel the door with the back of our hand. We feel it from the bottom all the way to the middle, and then we want to touch the doorknob. Now, if the door is hot, do you even want to open it? No, of course not, because that means there's fire somewhere close by. That's why the door is hot. So what would be another way out of your room? That's right, the window. But you want to make sure that your window opens way before a fire ever happens. Maybe your window's been painted shut, maybe it hasn't been open in a long time, it's kind of stuck. If there's security bars around your house, you got to learn how to open up those security bars. Also, is there an easy path to the window? Is your room so messy that you're not able to even get to the window? So you know what? Clean your room and then practice. Learn how to open up that window. Have your mom and dad show you how to do that. And as you're crawling out to safety, please remember, don't take anything with you. Nothing. You don't take your toys. You don't take any electronics. You don't take clothes. And we don't want to take any type of pictures. You're the one that's most important. Your stuff is not important. You're more important. So remember, please don't take anything with you because it's going to be difficult to crawl if you're holding stuff in your hand. Another thing what I want you to remember is don't go getting your pets and you're thinking, oh my goodness, why not? Well, first of all, your pets are super smart and they can sense danger, especially cats and dogs, right? So do you think your cats and dogs will follow you out as you're crawling? Of course they will. But any pets that can't make it out on their own, the firefighters will go in and do their best to save your pets. But remember, they can't save your pets until all the people are out of the house. So now do you think it's important to get out of your house quickly? Yes, it is. Next, please don't go looking for your mom and your dad. They're grown-ups, they know what to do, right? But you know what? They have another job. If there's any little ones in the house that don't go to school yet, that can't walk or or maybe if they're walking, they're too little to go to school, it's your mom and dad's job to get them. And if you're out looking for them, you might get in the way. And with all that black smoke, you know what? You might get lost in your own home. So please don't go looking for your mom and your dad because you know what? Do you think your parents want you looking for them? They don't. Your job is to get out as quickly as possible. Remember, once you get out, you stay out. Please don't ever run back inside your home for anything when it's on fire. And go to your meeting place so that when the firefighters get there, they know that everybody is safe and out of the home. Don't ever go back inside for anything. Nothing. The only ones that should be going in are the firefighters to try to put out that fire. Now, if a fire stops you from escaping, especially if you're in a two-story house and it stops you from getting out, here's what you want to do. You want to get some clothes or a blanket or something and put it at the bottom of the door so no smoke can come in. And if you have vents that are low, you might want to try to cover those vents so it'll stop smoke from coming in. The next thing you want to do is you want to go to your window. You want to open your window really wide. You want to stay at your window yelling for help, of course, but you know what would help you a lot more is hanging a sheet or a blanket out in front of your window so that firefighters can see that there's somebody in there. But also you're able to breathe the air from the outside, so stay at that window. Remember, don't hide. When there's a fire in your home, we never call 911 from inside that home. You call 911 when you're at the meeting place, if somebody brings out a cell phone, or if someone can run to the neighbor's house and call 911 from there. But in a fire, we do not call 911. Any other emergency you can, but in a fire, we don't. What if you're the one that was designated to call 911 because your house is on fire? You know not to call 911 from inside the home when it's on fire. So you're at your meeting place with a cell phone, or you have to run to a neighbor's house and use their phone. Would you know what to say to the 911 operator? Do you know what questions they're going to ask you? Well, one of the first questions they will ask you is, what is your emergency? And if your house is on fire, of course you're going to say, my house is on fire. The next question will be, is everybody out of the house? And you will answer either yes or no. The next question will be, what is your address? Do you know your address? I hope you do. It's really important that you know this because you know what? That lets firefighters know where to go to put out the fire, right? Or for any emergency, you need to know your address because that is the one thing they will ask you when you call 911. My address is 5225 West Massengale Road. Did it look like I even had to think about it? No, of course not, because I've known it for a long, long time. This is how I want you to memorize your address. And another good idea is memorize either your mom's or your dad's cell phone number or both. Because what if you get lost or separated from your parents one day in a crowded place? What are you going to do? You can't just go walking around seeing if you can find them. You need to get to a phone so you can call them and let them know where you're at. So please memorize your address and memorize a cell phone number. Please don't play with the 911 number. When you play with the 911 number, you're taking an emergency away from somebody else. And we don't want that for anybody, do we? So please, please, do not play with that 911 number. Remember, exit drills in the home. So let's go over some of the things that you've learned. Make an escape plan with your family. Practice your home fire drills at least twice a year. Make sure your smoke alarms are working. Have your mom and dad test them at least once a month and change the batteries out once a year. Don't forget to sleep with your bedroom door closed. Okay? Super important. If there's ever a fire, stay low under the smoke where the good air's at. Once you're out, you stay out. Never go back inside for anything. Go to your meeting place, which should be located somewhere in the front yard, and know your address, okay? And the phone number. All right. Thank you for listening to this lesson, and I hope you learned something super important that you can teach your family. Take care and stay safe.